Welcome to this live video. Hoping you're very well. Pardon the background noise and the wind. I've got my microphone in, but I'm hoping that you can still hear me. So we're exploring today healthy masculinity and the point that when we come into ourselves fully, when we begin to embrace our gifts as men, we become magnetic men. When we begin to embrace the fullness of who we are, the wholeness of who we are, we begin to become full, complete beings, full, complete people. And in doing so, we allow others to also see us for who we are. We allow others to see us for everything that we are. We are able to see the world with a very different lens, a lens that is empowering, a lens that has clarity and discernment. When we make conscious choices as men, and this really applies to all people. Let me be very clear on that. This applies to all people. When we make conscious choices as men to step into our authentic power, to be decisive with respect to how we wish to live our lives and what type of life we wish to live, we grow immensely and we grow profoundly. And we also create a clear conduit of understanding and connection to our own being, but also to others, to the intimate and important relationships in our lives. And this goes a long way, not only for our own development and our own growth and the way we choose to move through the world, but also for the legacy that we leave as men. So when we begin to explore the notions of defining our own masculinity and what this means for us, we begin to liberate so many others. We begin to liberate our past generational trauma as well. We begin to liberate ourselves from the pain and the suffering of not being connected men. Now, yes, this live feed, this video is about men and masculinity, but we all hold as people masculinity within us, the contrasted expression of masculine energy, this expression of doing energy or going energy. And when we get very clear with who we are as people and become discerning and we move through the world with clarity, we begin to shift that polarized expression of self and we begin to move into a more harmonized, a more balanced understanding and connection with respect to who we are. So this live feed, whilst it's very, very specifically targeted at men and helping men, assisting men in realizing that their greatest power really is embedded in their ability to connect fully to who they are and then act on that. And the only way to do that is to explore, of course, to explore diligently with authentic connection and a yearning to. But it's also imperative that this isn't just for men. This is for everybody. Hello, Avi, how are you? Hoping you're well. So let's go a little bit, just a touch deeper into what this means. So when we begin to look at how do we wish to show up in the world, how do we wish to behave, what choices do we want to make around how we conduct ourselves and how we express ourselves in the world and how we feel about things, events, people, places, relationships, how we feel about the context of our own lives. What does that actually mean? When we begin to ask very powerful questions around that, we shift much of the internalized clutter, the mental clutter, the emotional confusion that we feel and that we experience as men moving through the world. And we can make very real and legitimate decisions on who we wish to be and how we wish to treat ourselves and treat others. Now, this becomes not only empowering and powerful for our own selves, but this allows us to bridge the gap of difference. Let me elaborate as to why. In my own life right now, I'm experiencing an opportunity to go very deep into myself with respect to how I wish to show up. How do I wish to show up in relationship? How do I wish to show up with respect to myself? Gary, how are you, brother? Hoping you're very well. How do I wish to show up in how I express intimacy, how I give intimacy, how I receive intimacy, how I give and receive love, care, affection, and so forth? I'm going deep into these processes that are helping me understand myself with greater efficacy and a greater clarity, and really asking the question, who do I want to be and how do I wish to be this man? How do I wish to be this person? And having the opportunity to then act on that, having the opportunity to meet new and amazing people, having the opportunity to engage in living my purpose and living what is important to me, having an opportunity to live my values, and then assess that, feel into that, be with that. Traditionally, what I'm feeling into, looking at, exploring, experiencing, expressing within myself are aspects of myself and aspects of masculinity that very few men, unfortunately, in this Western construct, in this world, the way we move through the world, create an opportunity for themselves to look into. Now, this doesn't make me or any other men that are engaged in this space better than other men that are not. But what it does do, it gives us an opportunity to create opportunity. It gives us an opportunity to expand our sense of potentiality, to expand our realm of possibility, because we're asking questions around what does it mean to really be a man in this world? How do I wish to show up? And then taking action on that. And that can be really fucking scary. It can be confronting, it can be fearful, it can be overwhelming. And as men, being confronted with fear, with overwhelm, with a lack of self, with the potential of exploring one's own inadequacies, or coming face to face with, hey, maybe I don't want to be this person, but I'm being this person, how the fuck do I change that? That can be way too much. And as men, we generally polarize ourselves and move away from that. We move away from having that experience of going deep into the stuff we do not like about ourselves, because we are told that, hey, we have to be this type of person. We are told that we have to express in this particular type of way. We are told that we have to be this person in the world. We have to act and behave a particular way. And anything other than that is a weakness. So I'm here to tell you that that's not the case, and that if we come from that place, we are polarizing key aspects of ourselves. And what's known in modern spirituality or New Age spirituality as spiritual bypassing. We are bypassing our capacity to be full and our capacity to explore the wonder of who we are. Christina, how are you, my love? Hoping you're very, very well. Lovely to have you here. So this means that we have to explore the shit and stuff and the pain points and the fears that we don't like. And most men don't really appreciate the value of that. And anything that is anything less than what is expected of us, that is imposed upon us through externalized values, where we are told through cultural constructs and social ideologies that we need to be this type of man. Anything other than that is not being a man, therefore not being masculine, therefore being weak, therefore being perceived as ill or not complete, and therefore being ostracized, rejected, prejudiced against, subjugated, part of the out group instead of the in group. And this is too overwhelming for most of us. But let me tell you, men and beautiful people out there, this is something that is temporal. This is not something that lasts forever. It's not something that remains in our psyche forever. It is not something, an experience. It is only temporal. It only lasts for as long as we allow it to last. And here's the paradox. If we do not go deep into our stuff, if we do not go deep into what we are confronted with, what we are experiencing, what we are exposed to, if it's causing an imbalance, an unconscious or implicit imbalance within us, it will only perpetuate our behavior in our lives further without us even knowing or understanding as to why. And essentially, what this does is distance us from our truth and distance us from our capacity to feel fully and be honorable, admirable human beings. To step into a form or an expression of masculinity that actually serves us and serves the world around us. Now, how powerful would it be? Just think about this for a moment. How fucking powerful would it be to be an authentic, magnetic man? Deborah, how are you? Thank you for being here. How powerful and amazing would it be to be a connected, deep, loving, real, congruent man that is living his truth? Ladies out there that are watching this, would you not appreciate a man like that? In the intrinsic appreciation of just watching another human being step into the fullness of their power, but also an opportunity for you to be treated differently, to be expressed to with a greater variety, a greater emotional spectrum, to be communicated with greater depth and clarity and discernment. And these are some of the experiences that I'm moving through right now. I'm making choices. I'm choosing to make choices around who do I want to be and how do I wish to show up in the world. And what does that actually look like for me? What does it mean for me? And then have an opportunity to act on that and receive feedback and not be attached to an outcome. That's another puzzle to solve within our own, so I was going to say problem, or not. It's not a problem, it's a puzzle to solve within our own society, is that we're attached to an outcome, that we are stuck in this doing energy and this mentality of there has to be an outcome attached to our actions. And whatever that outcome is, whatever we project it to be, if we miss that mark on that, we are failing. And there's this derogatory negative aspect associated with failure, and it's fucking wrong. And I'll tell you why it's wrong, is because it limits us and it destroys us as men and it destroys us as people. It affects all of humanity and all of society and all of the intrinsic, valuable ecological earth systems that we are bound by. They support our existence. So when we're able to move away from this, let me not be attached to an outcome, but rather let me be observant to what is unfolding, the magic of what is unfolding in our lives, in my life, in my world, and just receive the feedback graciously in order to grow. The focus is to grow. Nikhil, brother, how are you? Beautiful to have you here. Brother, I'm going to call you in about 2 hours. I hope you're free. I'm going to talk to you then. I love you, my brother. So when we're able to do that, we liberate ourselves from pressure and pain. We liberate ourselves from fear. We liberate ourselves from needing to be something that we needn't or we don't really want to be. We eliminate that need to be a person that is not us. Now, how do we get to that stage? How do we immerse ourselves in that space, in that place? There's only really one way, is to explore and to be open, to be curious, to be open, to be inquisitive, to take the chance, to take the risk of entering or immersing into the mysterious element of the unknown, the mystery, the darkness, where the feminine aspect of contrasted expression resides. And when we do that, we're also embracing wholeness. Most of us don't like the unknown. It's fucking scary and confronting. But there is so much in the unknown that we can learn from and that we can grow from together. It becomes very powerful. So redefining your own masculinity comes with identifying what you need in your life or what you desire, what values you have and hold within you, and then making a choice to act on them fully, to fully embrace, embody, and be with them, and not be attached to an outcome in the process, but rather be immersed in the process, in the journey. This becomes a powerful tool for transformation, self-transformation, but also community-based, societal, global transformation. I want to leave you with that. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Please share this video if it resonates with you. On the 8th of the 8th, 18, I have my Reclaim Your Kingdom 3-month immersive experiential journey commencing, where we deep dive every week into 12 principles of what it means to be a healthy, masculine, connected man. There's a heap of course materials that you receive, videos, challenges, intuition, downloads, connection, community, exploration, growth, transformation, expansion, service, men. The link is above. Just check the link out. And again, anyone on this video that feels someone may benefit from this message, please share it. Many blessings on your journey, of course, and one is always glad to be of service. I'll see you again in the next video.